A government-run facility called Prescott Academy trains young girls to become assassins. Hardman, the organization's leader, brings them in when they are as young as 10 months old and trains them in all facets of life without the help of outside media. The Prescott Academy trains young females to be killing machines. With firearms that are taller than them, they begin learning to shoot at the age of 3. When they are 5 years old, they begin learning how to drive, and after a year, they are adept at engaging in high-speed car chases. They train in various fighting techniques every day so that when they're teenagers, they can be utilized covertly for multiple risky missions. Hardman's first rule is no attachments. The girls have never been permitted to establish relationships with one another despite the fact that they are all orphans. They are only recognized by their agency numbers and are not given names. Right now, the Academy's top student is at number 83. She fights better than everyone else and shoots like the assassin she has been trained to be. But she never understood why there was a no attachments clause. One day, the girls are tasked with using a pen to poke a stuffed toy. 83 holds the toy to her chest while the other girls follow instructions. Hardman portrays her as a bad example and tears the toy's head off. 83 has feelings that are building up inside of her and will eventually burst. She turns into a teenager with exceptional fighting abilities as time goes on. The person in position 84, who has consistently been second best in everything, is her biggest rival. If they didn't work for the same agency, she would kill 83 since she hates her. 83 is the first student in her class to be activated, which means that she is the first to be sent on missions that could be risky. 84 is unhappy about it as usual, but she is unable to object. Activated, 83 goes on a number of missions. She has never thought to be an agent because she is a teenager. She effortlessly completes all of her tasks, impressing Hardman. She still yearns, nevertheless, for the typical teenage life she was never able to experience. She is spying on a target during one of her missions when she observes a party happening next door. 83 realizes that her life is boring after watching the teenagers dance and enjoy themselves. Since she missed a significant portion of her childhood, she doesn't want her teens to be wasted. 83 makes the decision to leave the workplace and its duties as soon as she has the chance. She must first understand what being a typical girl actually means. In preparation for this, she begins to watch movies like Mean Girls, The Princess Diary, and Clueless to acquire information about adolescent high school life. She buys magazines to read covertly during tedious meetings every time she has gone on a mission. She runs into difficulty one day when Hardman discovers her reading a magazine while briefing her on a crucial operation. The next assignment is extremely risky, so he commands her to recover her senses. Victoria, the most dangerous mafia lady and an arms dealer, was discovered 8 hours ago in a city. Within 2 days, she must be found alive or else she will vanish once more. In an effort to win Hardman's favor, 84 wishes to take on the mission, but 83 is handed the assignment. The next scene reveals Victoria holding 3 prisoners in a construction zone. She scolds them and removes their blinders. The female captive abruptly discloses her as being 83. 83 charges at Knox in an instant and defeats all of her goons. She fastens a hook to Knox so it may be attached to an incoming aircraft. Finally, they are towed up to the aircraft and 80 Task 3s is accomplished. However, Knox still has her pistol, so she aims it at her. While Knox is being dragged into the airplane, 83 cuts the harness and falls into the river below. When Hardman observes 83 absence, he attempts to reach her using a device linked to her wrist. 83 hears him as he emerges from the water. She doesn't respond, though, as she is aware that this is her only chance to leave her previous life behind. She discards her watch and resolves not to turn around again. Hardman is informed that they aren't getting any images or sounds from her once they are back in the aircraft. He labels her as inactive and goes back to questioning Victoria. After that, 83 adopts the name Megan and crafts a completely new persona. Additionally, she enrolls at a Newton high school and uses a website to find a family to stay with. The family arrives at the airport to pick her up. They are the mother, Mrs. Larson, her caustic teenage daughter Liz, and her son Parker. Liz finds it difficult to get used to having Megan around the house and is not very happy about her arrival. She finds it strange that Megan gets thrilled about seemingly ordinary things like taking the bus to school. She still consents to accompany Megan around the school in order to please her mother. Megan dressed ridiculously on her first day of school, drawing everyone's attention to her. After just a few minutes, Gooch, a bully, labels her new meat as everyone laughs. Liz gives her some plainer clothing to wear to cheer her up. She is asked to speak in front of everyone during the morning assembly because she is an international student. She meets geeky young man named Roger, the band's AV manager, before going on stage. Megan characterizes him as a nerd based on the movies she has seen. She is introduced to the entire school, but everyone mocks her and calls her names. Soon, they begin asking her to return to her home in Canada. When the chanting becomes too loud, Cash, the school's band leader, distracts the audience with a song. He is the most well-liked student at the school. Megan is also drawn to him right away. Some cheerleaders approach her over lunchtime to invite her to join them, but she declines since she believes they are unkind, like the cheerleaders in her favorite movies. She runs into Roger in biology class once more and befriends him. He seems to be drawn to her, but Megan is only interested in Cash. The following day, she is assigned as Cash's lab partner. Others in the class, who want Cash for themselves, ask her to select a different companion. After class, the girls inform Megan that Cash prefers girls who play the school's mascot. Megan goes to the school mascot audition, not realizing they are trying to set her up. She gets chosen right away and invited to rehearse for the upcoming match. A bunch of masked men approach her during the rehearsal and attempt to abduct her. Megan surprises everyone by handily defeating them with her skills. She mistakenly believed that the masked individuals were assassins sent by Hardman, but it turns out that they are actually boys from a rival college. By the time she realizes this, everyone is filming her. To her horror, they post the video on social media. Victoria is being detained and questioned by Hardman in Prescott's base. She is also aware that his method of robbing young girls of a happy childhood is wrong. She confronts him about it, but he argues that he is doing it for a good cause. Victoria is also particularly fond of number 84 and intends to use her to flee. They quickly learn about Megan's popular video and believe she is now employed by a rival organization. The following day, everybody is raving about Megan's incredible fighting abilities. Overnight, she turns into one of the popular girls. When Cash invites her to his band rehearsal after school, her day is made even better. When she arrives, she runs into Roger and chats with him while she waits for Cash. Roger admires her personality and notices how similar they are. Megan, though, is too busy swooning over Cash to see that he likes her. Later, she receives an invitation to a high school party being hosted at the home of Bully Gooch. Because she had only heard about such parties in movies, Megan is quite excited. On her way home that day, she is kidnapped by Prescott's agents. Hardman believes she works for a rival organization and refuses to trust her when she tells him she just wants to live a normal life. He gives her a truth drug injection, which reveals that she is really telling the truth. Hardman believes he has a right to her life because he taught her everything she knows. He gives her 2 days to get back to the base. Following that, his men throw Megan on the front door of the house to make her appear drunk. When Megan sees Roger next time, she invites him to Gooch's party, but he declines to go because his father is stringent about parties. He is the only friend Megan has in the school, thus his presence would make her feel better. Later that evening, Megan shows up at the party with Liz, who was made to go with her by her mother. Megan is surprised to see 84 at the party, now going by the name Heather. Megan believes Heather was sent by Hardman to watch after her, but Heather won't confirm or reject the assertion. Roger shows up at the event in search of Megan, but is upset to find her kissing Cash. By the end of the night, Cash requests her to be his homecoming date. The following morning, Megan boards the school bus and discovers that Hardman is disguised as the driver, informing her that Victoria has escaped from Prescott and is preparing to exact revenge on her. He has come to warn her. Megan rejects his offer to take her back to Prescott. Later, she and Liz are seen heading to school while being pursued by a masked assassin. While in a car chase, Megan tells Liz the truth about her past life. They soon collide with the assassin's car in a junkyard. Although the assassin is out of sight, Megan can identify her as Heather, thanks to the aroma of her perfume. Following the collision, Liz is in the hospital. Megan wants to leave before she does more harm, but Liz feels that Megan abandoning the family would be worse. They get along from that day forward. About her life as an agent, Megan tells Liz everything. Together, they shop for homecoming clothes and get ready for the momentous evening. Liz goes out with Gooch, who has changed since meeting her at the party. Meanwhile, Cash and Megan travel together. Megan expected the night to be wonderful, but Chase barely spoke to her. She discovers after spending some time with him that he is popular throughout his entire personality. She dumps him and approaches Roger to request a dance. She is shocked when he declines and turns to Heather, his date for the evening. The girls argue about who gets to be his date and eventually get into a fight. The decorations are destroyed as they battle around the space. They ultimately find themselves in the kitchen, where Heather is going to knife Megan. Liz approaches Heather covertly and uses a corn dog stick to stab her in the leg. Then Megan strikes Heather in the head and renders her unconscious. When the girls return home, they discover that Mrs. Larson and Parker have been kidnapped by Victoria and her group. Megan fights them effectively until Liz is captured. She gives up fighting in order to protect her family, but she is still holding out hope that Hardman would show up and save her. Victoria taunts her for being so stupid and admits that she was the very first Prescott girl. Number 1. She left Prescott for the same reason Megan did, for destroying her childhood. She challenges Megan to a one-on-one combat, which she easily wins. Hardman unexpectedly shows up with further support for Megan in Victoria's capture. They break in and use a tranquilizer pistol to knock out Victoria. Hugging Hardman, Megan expresses gratitude for his help. In the final scene, she approaches Roger on his way home and takes him along for a ride in a helicopter. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on the notification, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.